Welcome to another episode of Reseller Evolution. I'm Scott.
Hi, Carl.
How she go, Carl?
She's going good.
It's going good.
I've been pretty happy. I've been finding crap at the
Finding
thrift
crap.
stores. Yeah,
Oh, nice.
it's kind of nice. Yeah, so I'm happy with that. I found a bunch of Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So when I was at one of the thrift stores, they came out with a big box full of those little collectible figures they have in bags that you can't see what you're getting. So it's kind of like a
Like for the baggy wall type thing.
yeah. No, I mean like when you buy them at the store, you can get these little tiny, kind of like the size of a Kinder Surprise, but for these little figures you can collect for the series.
Oh, I didn't
Anyways,
know. I didn't know that. Okay.
there's a lot of things like that. Anyways, they came up for with a box of them at the thrift store, and they were 99 cents each. So, and they sell for like 10 to 15 bucks, maybe even $20 each.
Oh.
So I was happy with that. Nice and easy. One
Well,
listing, multiple quantities. There's
I
demand.
I never looked, and that's an interesting thing. Is online is Stranger Things popular? Because I would think that it's being
Uh,
so overdone on the maker side that the market's kind of flooded with this stuff.
well, I checked. There's
Okay.
definitely demand online.
Okay.
The ratio of sales to actives aren't the best, but the sale prices people are getting is pretty good. Like
Okay.
I don't mind things selling for 10, 15 bucks if I get it for 99 cents and I can just put it in a poly mailer, a bubble mailer, even a small one, and send it off. Or I'm gonna put half in the booth and I'm gonna put half online. Uh, well,
Because
or I might change my mind on that, but
well, it's just funny because I never even thought, and then you started mentioning. But okay, so there was an auction, and there was some Stranger Things toys, brand new in the package. There was a lot of different toys, but I'm like, that just came out. Like, but when you stop and think about it, it started 10 years ago. So
I
maybe if
know.
it was a first edition part line, it could actually maybe had some value. There was nothing else really in the auction that I was interested in, and I got a lot of stuff here, so I didn't go. But it's something I probably should have looked up, right? Like I should have looked into it a little harder because
Yeah, yeah, and obviously these aren't vintage or antiques, so it depends on your like maybe not the best for all places, but for flea market or online, it's really good. Or it's the stuff I like. No work.
yeah, but even at the like, it's called an antique market, but not everything there is antique. And
No,
I mean, I could buy a Canon digital camera. That's not antique either.
that's true.
Um, but there are things that we throw in the booth. I would say, I mean, there's booths there where I don't know one booth that has everything antique. Like, I mean, if you want to be antique, like even the guy that is probably one of the most like well known and smartest, I shouldn't say smartest, let's say knowledgeable in the field of antiques, bottles, advertising, that kind of stuff. But even he sells a few records and some CDs, which CDs are probably from the 90s.
Well,
The
CDs
records
are
are
definitely vintage. Yeah,
70s and 80s, but they're not antique. You know what I mean?
not yet.
Well,
I guess
that,
isn't
I mean, we could say that about anything.
it 80 years for antiques? I can't quite remember. It used to be
I,
100, and then I think it moved to 80
I
or
I
something.
believe it's 100. I
Oh,
think
is it
it's still
okay?
100. Like to
Okay,
be true antique. Um,
whatever. I just care people are willing to give me money for my stuff.
well, that's the thing. But I'm just going back to like,
Antique
you're
mall.
saying it's definitely not antique, but you can still sell things that aren't antique. I mean, there's one person in there who everything is very goth and witchery.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it doesn't have to be antique. They're brand new in the
No.
package, tarot cards and stuff like that, right?
Oh,
She's just
those
got a
sell
little
horribly
setup.
for me.
What's that?
I can't sell tarot cards to save my life.
At the booth?
Yeah.
Oh
'Cause
wow,
I have just modern ones there.
yeah. Even
Everyone
the
wants the
modern
vintage.
ones sell. I think the kids are grabbing them. Maybe
Oh,
I don't
really?
know. Like I call them kids, but I mean 20,
Oh.
25.
Yeah.
Um, so maybe they're the ones grabbing them up. I don't know. Um,
Maybe I have to reposition them then. But like I've given up. I've had them for a year and I've sold like 2 packs. So
yeah. I mean, they definitely don't fly. Like I don't know, because I want to say they don't fly out like the older ones, but I put the older ones online,
Well, oh, the
right?
older ones I definitely put online. Like I
Yeah.
don't even bring to the
So
booth because someone will want to pay $20 for something with 200, right? And it
yeah,
gets me upset.
and I just laugh,
Yeah.
right? I'm like, for you, I'll do 300, right? But um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, even a Barbie could, like, we sell Barbie and what's the other doll that I sold? Well, Cabbage Patch, but what was the other doll I sold out of there? Bratz. Remember? And Adam bought all my Bratz dolls. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, those are definitely not antique, but just kind of you know, older stuff will get in there too. So I would definitely put in like Stranger Things, Funko Pops. I've sold out of the booth, but for the most part, we try to keep the antique vintage kind of thing going.
Well, that's what I meant, really. Yeah. But
Yeah, but I mean, hey, first gen Stranger Things could almost be vintage at this point.
yeah.
Like, like maybe that was the appeal of the movie, and it was done by mistake. And a lot of times, things that turn out really good aren't planned. But the fact that we could watch the kids grow up to young adults, basically, right? Like,
Oh,
go
and
through,
I feel like one of those people are already on their second marriage and third mortgage by
no
now.
doubt, eh? Yeah. Well, some of the ones like the older group, some of them were in their 30s when the show was over, right? But I'm
What
talking
I
about the
find,
young guys, the kids that are sitting there playing D&D,
yeah, yeah.
right? Like those
Did you
guys.
watch the making of documentary?
I got to the last probably half hour of it, and then I fell asleep, and I just haven't gone back yet. But
Yeah, it's
yeah,
I liked it. I enjoyed it. But
I enjoy sometimes the making of it better than the movie.
yeah,
Like, I'd have to watch the movie and then go and watch the making of it, right? Because if I really like the movie, but sometimes even making it is fun. Is fun. It's more fun. I don't know. Is
yeah,
that right?
I get it. But anyways, I found those, so I was happy with those, and I found a bunch of high end Marvel toys. Uh,
What's a high end Marvel toy?
well, just like a high quality figure, right? Like they're not the normal dime store stuff. So like behind me, I found this giant man, which is great for the video, for the audio. I know,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
but like he's a $200 toy, right? He's
Oh
not,
wow,
you know. So
he's
that's
two
the
hundred bucks.
he's two more, a little bit more actually. Yeah,
Wow. What's he called?
used. He's Giant Man. That's what.
Giant Man.
Yeah, Marvel
I don't even,
Legends.
I don't even know if
So
I know of a Giant Man.
I thought he was Ant Man, but he's not.
Yeah, I
Anywho,
know Ant Man, but
so I've been picking up a lot of those, and that's good. And I picked up.
Ant Man and Wasp.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, it might be Ant Man because he has the antennas, right? That's why
Yeah.
I thought he's Ant Man. Anyways, he's a giant figure. Whatever. He's $200, even used. So, and he's in pretty good condition. So, but I've found a bunch of those and a bunch of toy soldiers, but they're modern ones. I have to investigate them a bit more before I talk
Oh,
about them.
like the metal toy soldiers.
No, they're not. They're a different
Oh,
brand, completely different brand. So I'm gonna have to look them up. They look like quality, and
yeah.
they're cheap. So it's like I'm gonna look these up. It's like, oh wow, they actually go for money. So, but I want to know what I'm talking about for once.
Sure, sure.
So I'm gonna look them up a bit because they came in loose bags
Yeah,
and
yeah.
some
Which means they take longer to figure out, but
yeah,
at
and
least,
which bit belongs to which bit, and
yeah,
uh, I also picked out some Pyrex sets. A set. It was quite a bit of money. It was about $40,
yeah.
but they go for 150
Oh, that's right.
online. I'll
Yeah,
probably get 100 out of the booth, maybe 120.
yeah.
So, and I can stack them obviously because they're a set, so they won't take up much room. Uh, and just random stuff, which is kind of nice. So I'm happy about that. I also this weekend, my friend Scott came in. Not you, Scott. It wasn't, just so you know, it wasn't
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
He
yeah.
came into the booth to say hi. He does a lot of his wife does a lot of, well, him too, but they sell a lot of Barbie online, and he's a good friend of mine. I've known him forever, so it was nice seeing him. And yeah, the booth was market was fine. It was good. It was busy. Lots of people around. Uh, can't complain about that. I met I've met a few owners of stores talk to me, and I met another one this weekend, which was kind of nice.
Like owners of like antique stores, or
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So they
So
have their own, or they rent out the space.
they have their own,
Okay.
and either it's like the one's called the Odd Shop by Chris. So
Yeah.
it's not like he has. I don't think he has like booth owners in his store. It's his store, but he's been really nice and bought D&D and stuff from me.
Okay.
And then I met another guy this weekend, Jason, who also is in Osgood, which is pretty well Ottawa, really. But I can't remember the name of the store. But anyways, I talked to him for a long time, and that was really good. I like, it's fun meeting these people who have lots of experience and a different perspective. And you know, we were talking about like for him, like he has partners in the store, and
Yeah.
what it's like, when people come in to sell stuff, and you know, the store owner has to have first rights to to buy stuff, which makes sense in this case because if you're going to be there, you want to have the business, right? Like I feel the same thing when I'm in my booth, right? Like if my friend is in the booth with me, I want to be able to have. I don't want to compete with someone in my own booth. You know what I mean? To buy stuff, right?
Yeah. I've said this before. I'm kind of on the fence there. Like I agree with you. You don't want to compete, but at the same time I like the fact that if we're selling records, I don't know if we're competing or helping each other because people are looking for certain records, and if one guy doesn't have it, they know they can go to the other guy. So,
Yeah, I mean competing in terms of buying stuff from people,
oh, okay, my mistake.
right? Like if you
Yeah,
have someone come in and say I want to sell something, well, I don't want to compete in my own booth with someone else who wants to buy, right?
right.
Especially in the store situation where half the point of you being anyways, it's not I didn't even mean to go down this route.
No,
We're
that's
just
fine. We go.
we're just talking about stuff like, stuff like that.
Yeah,
But it was really good meeting him, Jason. So he bought a few things from me. So I gave him a good discount, so he's happy.
cool, cool.
Uh I bought some Tootsie cars. They were kind of fun. So these kind of really cheap toy cars that they used to have. I think I think they're just molded metal, right? So I bought a bunch of those. We'll see how those go. And that's when I found out like the ones from the like these I think are from the 60s and 70s, but the ones from earlier time periods, like the 40s, 30s, 20s, I think even, are worth multiples what these were. But I'll just pop them in the booth and put a few bucks on each and see how it goes. So yeah.
Cool.
How's your week?
How was my week? Pretty decent. I mean, well, pretty decent. I mean, I had a good payout yesterday because I get paid every Tuesday
From eBay.
from eBay. A lot of that came from one buyer. I mean, it's just insane how much like eBay takes by the time it's all done. It's just like I don't know. I don't know. It's because they add it up, and then you got your shipping and everything, and also they keep taking. They just seem to be constantly taking little skims off. But don't get
Well,
me wrong.
with the shipping, they hold on to a bunch of it and then they demand it all at once, which is
Yeah, and
always
it's like,
concerning.
what the heck just happened there? But for
Yeah.
sure. Um, but no, I was pretty happy with that. The store itself, I so I was a little concerned there because I'm like, what the heck is going on? Because the first week and a half, or was its normal, and all of a sudden last week it just dropped. My
Yeah.
staff worked 2 days, and like one day was a really good day. Like they like $5,400 for the store in one day. So it's on me. Now I did over $100 or something, but it should have been a 250 $300 day, no problem. Like it was a weekend, it was a Sunday. I think the weather had a little bit to do with it too, because we've been getting dumped on a lot. Um, like
So
I know the one day they just closed off the back parking lot. Like they just
yeah, weather
completely
has a huge effect. Yeah.
closed it off. So, but at the same time, the store did good. right? Like the store is doing okay. Um, I know people sell silver, like the jewelry and stuff like that.
Silver,
They're
yeah.
doing okay.
Hey,
Like,
silver's up. Have you heard? I've heard 1,000 times from 1,000 people every
is
minute.
that 1,000 now?
Silver's up, silver's up, gold's up, silver's up.
Well, dude, it just boggles my mind. It just like it's one of those things that you, for the last 20 years you knew it was going to happen, right?
Right. You can predict anything for 20 years, eventually it's gonna be true.
Yeah, it's eventually it's going to be true. But anyway, no, I mean I think they're doing well. Like it all depends on what you price it at, and what you price it at depends whether on the perception of whether you're doing well. You know what I mean? So if you bought a bunch of silver rings and necklaces and you got them out there for $15, and by scrap they might be worth $15, some people might say you're not doing well, right?
Yeah.
But people are coming up and buying it for less than scrap value or for scrap value, hoping it goes up, which it has. But anyway, a lot of different reasons. But people are coming in there with like little scales, like weighing it and stuff, and
Yeah.
right, and they're buying it. One person sold like $1,200 worth of silver, I think. But I mean, I'm hoarding mine right now. I do think I'm going to put some of the rings and stuff like that online that have, like some. I mean, it's really hard for me to determine whether it's antique or vintage, but definitely a vintage appeal to it. But if it's worth, I don't know. I mean, right now I couldn't even tell you what a ring weighs for, but let's just say it's worth $30 in weight. I might try to get 65 out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, um, and I do have a lot of really nice rings. So I might go that route online and see how that goes. Like they're really nice, but they're definitely sterling. You know what I mean? It's not like they're an unmarked metal or gold. It's sterling for sure.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
um, but I'll see what happens. Right? Like go from there. So
Uh,
anyway, let's get back to where I was saying. The store's doing the store's doing very good. I would say the last week I was a little disappointed in my sales. Um, so I mean, if I have a good weekend this weekend, I'm I'm just like a little bit under where I'd like to be for the month. But at the first month and a half or week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, I was over. You know what I mean? So that's how
yeah.
bad that one week was. But I always said, if the store's doing good, then it's on me, right? So I got to figure out what's going on. Am I at the booth as much as I used to be to keep it stocked up? No. You
That's
know
what I
what I
was
mean?
gonna say, because you were
Yeah.
talking about you hadn't been in for a little bit.
Yeah. So
And
that probably plays a big factor for sure. Um, but I still think I have some really good stuff in there. But the GI Joes, I'm probably going to have to bring home because they're just not selling out of the booth, but they're like, you know,
good stuff.
doing very good online, right? So
It is funny. That's the way it is, right? Like I said, I find toy cars sell better in the booth than online.
yeah.
And sometimes it's the opposite, right? Like, with that figure I just showed you, the Ant-Man there, I'm gonna try him for the booth, but I'm not gonna give him away at the booth. Because if I can get 200, 250 online, why would I sell it for 100, 150 in the
Well, and
market?
that's the thing because if I sell my GI Joe, I think I got them. I think I just put right across. I think I had six of them with no clothes on or anything. Just, but if I put because I sell the clothing separately and I've got tons of clothing. But if I put the GI Joes for under $100, I'm losing because I can sell a head for $45 in the hand, and
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, and I get over $100. So, well, I'm not going to go less than that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And so they might be kind of high priced in some people's views, but as far as I'm concerned, they're not. They're probably priced properly or underpriced based on I could part them out and get just as much or more, So it's that catch 22, but I thought I'd throw them in there, see how they do. I know one person sold a GI Joe fully clothed with a nice outfit and everything, good shape, but it had the beard and everything like mine do. Um, and she got like 250 for it, but it was decked out. So I thought, okay, there's going to be GI Joes here, GI Joe collectors here, right?
Mm.
But I might have to put them online because they're not moving. Some guy came in and bought two pieces of clothing for like $60. So I think maybe it was three because there was a couple parcels in there, like pieces. Like I have like binoculars. I might have $10 on them or something like that. But anyways, it came out to around $60. Um, so there you go. I don't know. So that's the booth and that's eBay. As far as picking's concerned, um, so I went and got all those cameras and I got that dinosaur and all this stuff, right? And all of a sudden, the guy messaged me, goes, "Oh, Scott, you did really well on me." He goes, "There was a camera in there. It was a Canon, blah, 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 blah. And I know it's worth $500." And I'm like,
How do
"Buddy,
you answer that?
huh?"
How do you answer that?
I said to him, I'm like, "There was no such camera in that lot." I said, "You told me yourself that you sold all the good ones." I said, "I paid very fair for what I got. The only Canon I have was the clarinet or whatever it is." And I said, "I think I got it in the booth for $60 if you want it back." You know what I mean? And then he messaged, "Oh, no, no, no. I was wrong. I was just saying that if you got it, that was very good for you. You did good. But no, I know you don't have it now." And I'm
Oh
like,
God, awkward.
you know what I mean? Like,
I hate
give
that
me a
stuff.
break, right?
That's the stuff that terrifies me.
We went through every single
I
piece
know.
and put it in these totes. I said, I know I was buying garbage. You know, I even paid you more for the Fred Flintstone the dinosaur. I give you an extra $25 on top of that. It's not like I'm like out there to get you. You know what I mean? Like, give me
Yeah,
a
I know.
break. I look things up right on my phone. Like, right? He goes, "Oh, I don't know what's this worth and stuff." But the thing is, he comes to the store, him and his wife. They come to the store. They approach Stephanie for me to come and buy stuff from them because I have a sign in my booth. So I'm not going to screw over somebody. Like, listen, if somebody says I want $1 for something at a yard sale, I've said this a million
Yeah,
times. I'm
I
paying
don't
a
fight them
dollar.
on it. Yeah,
I'm paying $1 for it. But if somebody invites me into their house, you know what I
yeah,
mean, and they're not sure certain things, like I'm gonna be totally upfront because I don't need things bad enough. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, listen, if you want to get rid of it, this is what I'm willing to pay. You know what I mean? And like I said for the dinosaur, he said, "Oh, what do you think? 20, $25?" I said, I'll bump it up to $50. But that's because I don't want him coming into the store and seeing out 150 on the shelf, right? Because
yeah,
and then be all upset about it. But if it, I mean, I still haven't bought batteries to test it, but I mean, if it's working, it's a $500 piece, right? And it's going to sell on eBay.
and that's a big if.
Yeah, like he says it works because it was his
Yeah,
when he was a kid and it's always worked. And, you know, but
yeah,
I'm still, and the battery compartment's really clean. I'm sure it
yeah,
does work, but a foot might not work or the tail
yeah,
might not wiggle. Like, I don't
yeah,
know, right?
yeah, yeah.
And he didn't have batteries to test it.
No,
It takes the great big, I don't know,
D's or whatever.
quadruplet D's or whatever it is. But but for the most part, like I was kind of overly fair. Like when I started
Yeah,
getting home and looking at these cameras, I'm like, why did I pay so much? You know what I
I
mean?
know.
I know I'll make a little bit, but they're still going to sit in the booth. They're going to take up space, you know. And then for him to message me and say that, I'm like,
It's like,
are you out of your mind? But anyway, it doesn't matter. He came back and he apologized and he goes, "Oh, I didn't. Don't take offense. So I was really just saying good for you." And I'm like, "No, you weren't. Whatever. You know what I mean? That's not what. Why would you do that? Like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, say it then and there when we went through every single piece. You know, then tell me, wow, this is going to be a really good one for you. Don't text me a week later and say, "Go, good for you. You got me." Anyway, um, but I have another pick coming up tomorrow, and I'm really excited about that one because they want the stuff out of there. I don't even. So they came to Stephanie, and I was going to go last week, and then the snow happened. So he called. He said he had to cancel the Friday meetup. He goes, "We're just it's just too much snow." And I think he's got his house and then his mother's house who had passed away, and that's where we're going to pick. And he goes, "How about next week?" I said, "Let me talk to you Monday. I'll see how the week's going, and then we can pick a day." So we picked Thursday. So I'll be going tomorrow. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. So I'm really looking forward to that. I don't know what's going to be in there. I'm hoping about 6 Maud Lewis paintings will be there, but
Yeah, of course.
um, a lot of Toby mugs. And I said,
Ugh.
and then he says there's some furniture. Are you interested in furniture? I said it all depends on what it looks like. And then he started saying a few things, good things, since there's paintings there and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, it could be pretty good, right? Sometimes when you get in those places, they tell you what they think is good.
Yes.
But once you get in there and you start seeing some like Art Deco lighting fixtures and different things, like it could be a whole different ball game, right? Um, so I'll definitely be picking up some stuff, but as to how much, I don't know. We'll see. But,
Yeah, actually, I'm in the same scenario. So, like, the wrinkle dogs. So, someone, long story short, like someone who knows her
yeah,
contacted me to go and check out her stuff this week.
okay,
So, it's the same scenario. She said, "Well, what are you looking for?" Right? And I said, "Well, basically, it's best if I just come over and take a look."
yeah, because I'm interested in all sorts of different stuff, but
Yeah,
until I see it, I don't know. Because I can sit here and tell you, and then you say, "Oh, I got that," and then all of a sudden it's not in that good a condition, right? Or if I offer you $20 and it's in mint condition, and I'm going to get $200, I don't
yeah,
get into prices on the phone, but
no, and
I'm
like,
just saying, like, there's a lot of variables that can happen for depending on what I want.
yeah, and they don't know, right? Like she
They
said,
don't
"Oh, I have a jacket like you bought off, my friends." Like, well, the jacket was probably my worst buy of that buy,
know. Yeah,
right? So it's like, and here's some Corning wear, and it's like, yeah, not and it doesn't get my motor going,
yeah, yeah. It's
but
more of like,
but
we'll see. Yeah,
I'll see when I get there. And she said, "Oh, do cassettes sell?" And I was like, "Yeah, but it depends on the genre." And I said, "It's best if I just come." And she said, "Oh, someone else has a bunch of military stuff they want to get rid of or sell," which gets me a lot more excited, right?
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah,
we'll see how this goes. It's always awkward for me. It's
yeah,
funny. We're different, right? You and me, Scott, we're quite different in the way we are.
yeah,
And when I'm live in situations, I get flustered, right? I'm not fast on my feet. Definitely not. I'm more analytical, which everyone who's been listening to the podcast should be well aware of at this point. And so I went on ChatGPT and I said, I have this thing coming up. I don't know how to handle it. And it said, well, knowing you, Carl, you're very analytical and you're not fast on
It
your
said
feet.
that.
It did. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I know. Scary, eh? And it said, for you, the best thing is actually to script it out. And the reason for that is you're so used to doing analysis, right? That you just are not good at this like off the fly stuff. And so with using these scripts, it helps you gain some time and blah 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 blah. And it's just like, fuck, damn it, it knows me.
Well, I'm going to counter that a little bit, and I'm not saying that's totally wrong.
Well, it depends on who you are. Don't forget, it's catering its answer to who I am,
I
right?
would think it would be best though to just train yourself to get better.
No, see that won't work because that's
It
not
won't.
who I am,
Yeah,
right?
but
Like
you can
I
train yourself. No,
no
you can't.
no.
You can't like just over time get experience to the
Oh, you can
point.
get experience and better at something.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
and I'm not denying that. But the reason I'm so negative on that, Scott, is my entire 53 years on this world, I've heard tell people me just do this, just do that. It's like my brain doesn't work like that.
Well,
It just doesn't.
I feel by doing what ChatGPT told you
Right.
that it's like the karate instructor. Come at me with a knife, and then you stab him. And no, come on! It's got to be like 90% higher. You got to raise it above your head. And then you raise it above. No! You got to come at me
Yeah.
not downward but straight forward. And then you come at him straight forward. No! You got to use your left hand and not your right hand. You know what I mean? Like
I understand. I just
so, I'm like
disagree.
to learn how to properly take on a guy with a knife.
Yeah.
You kind of got to do it.
I avoid the knife guy.
What's that?
I just avoid the knife guy. No,
Sometimes you
yeah,
get
like
on the
I totally believe in working on your strengths and not improving your weaknesses in this life. Like if there's one thing I found very successful for me
yeah,
is not to improve the things I'm bad at. It's to improve the things I'm really good at. Has been much more successful for me. Maybe other people's experiences are different. That's fine, but
yeah.
that's for me, right?
I mean, I just I enjoy the experience in itself. It's not like I try to limit to just what I'm good at. I just enjoy getting out there with the new experiences. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I love new experiences,
yeah.
but I also know what I'm not good at, and I'm not going to change. And no matter what training,
I'm
yeah,
not trying to change you. I'm just saying we look at things differently.
we do.
So I'm telling you how I deal with it. I'm not
Yeah,
telling you how you should deal with
yeah,
it.
yeah. Anyways, we'll see how this goes. So that's coming up in the next week for this. I'm not like super excited. Like honestly, I've been finding so much good stuff without dealing with any people at all. Just going at my pace at my local stores.
Yeah, I just
Um,
don't have that here. You guys,
yeah, yeah.
you have it. I just don't. And maybe I do have it here, but I'm just not looking at it properly. I don't know.
Well, I can hit
Um,
like 4 or 5 stores within an hour easily, right around
yeah.
here. Where, but you have another 50 to 100 years of history out there, which we don't have, right? So,
I don't know. I always thought your area had some history. I always thought people came in from the East Coast inward, so you would find more history, less history the more you go westward. You know what I mean? So
so along the St. Lawrence, yes,
yeah.
right.
But we have. I mean, I kind of say that loosely because at the same time we're so close to the border of the U.S. and we have the Southern Ontario dips right into the U.S. We have the Great Lakes, so this area has been. You know, that's not really fair to me to say that because this area has been rich with history as well. You know what I mean?
and also population,
The population too, for sure.
right? Because
Yeah,
like we have old areas around here, like where they had like a trading post.
yeah,
There might be 20 people there. You know what I mean? So like
yeah.
if you look at numbers like for dates, it's like yeah, there's been here, people here for a long time. It's just that
But
Ottawa was a logging town, right?
you're not necessarily looking for that stuff either, though. Like
No, no.
you're looking for things that are like 70s and newer, where I'm kind of looking for like 90s and older.
Yeah, because that's what's really that's what Ottawa's strength is in the
Yeah,
area, right?
yeah.
Um, and it's the stuff I like too, which is toys. I like toys. It's valuable, easy, and light and small. It's like so why people like watches and jewelry and stuff like that too, right? Oh, someone brought in a friend of mine bought a gold sovereign on the weekend. I was pretty jealous of that. It's like, oh, nice. I would like to collect those if they weren't worth $1 billion now. You hear gold's up? Do you hear silver's up?
Oh, jeez. Well, let's see what silver's at today. I was at
No, no,
131 yesterday, like
no.
last I checked. I haven't checked this morning. That's craziness. $215. Wow, Canadian.
Uh huh.
No, it's 131.26 Canadian. So
Silver and gold.
yeah. So,
Silver and gold.
oh well, it is what it is. You know,
So
it's funny. It's gone up almost $100 for in the last. I'm going to say roughly a year. Like it was probably around 135 at one point within the last year. I don't know. I should go back and check, but I know about 2 years ago it was definitely around 135 bucks. Or sorry, 35 bucks or less. But anyway, I
yeah,
digress.
I haven't like we're when I was on the market, we're talking about buying of gold and silver, and a lot of the people there will buy it and then sell it to a scrap dealer who gives a fair price.
Yeah.
But I'm just too scared of like making a mistake, right? Like
Making a mistake how?
either fake stuff and I have seen fake stuff there.
Oh, you mean buying on the buying end?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I would. Okay. First of all, I would kind of. I stick mostly to what I see stamped out on the in the wild. You know what I mean? You know, no one's gonna fake a sterling ring from the '80s because silver wasn't
No,
worth it. So if it's
no.
stamped, it's stamped. Gold might be a little different, but for
I
the most
saw a
part,
fake gold stamp. Yeah.
yeah. So for the most part, the silver is sterling is sterling. Um, However, the remember the crazy card?
Yeah. I still see him around. Yeah.
So he had a YouTube channel. One of his videos popped up out of nowhere on the TV. Like it's not even a computer search or anything. I never searched them, and I'm like, the crazy card, really, seriously? Like, so it was silver. He had silver in the title, and that must have been why it popped up because I was doing some research on silver. But it was just good to see the crazy card, and he had a ton of silver stuff,
Yeah.
and it was dude, I think it was like 6 or 10 years ago. You know what I mean? This
Yeah.
video, but I'm just like, hey, I
Funny.
know that guy. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
But he had a ton of silver, and he's probably close to 200,000 views on that one show,
Oh, good for him.
which is like pretty decent, right?
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, like I mean, you're not your million, 4 million, or 20 million, but to me that like I mean, I've never had that kind of views on a show at all, ever. You know what I mean? So, um, it's I don't know. It was good. It was good to see the crazy card. So if you ever listen to this show, you know,
Hi.
leave a comment. But I think he would have left a comment if he was listening. But he used to be quite a regular on the Sunday night shows. So.
Yep. I still see him around in chats sometimes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Um, but he had a lot of good old silver. He's very knowledgeable on his stamps, and he had some David Anderson. Now he made, according to Crazy Card, David Anderson had more than just jewelry. Like he did like candlesticks and different things too. Did you
Oh,
know that?
no, but I keep hearing his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, um, so I mean, if you ever see that name on a candlestick, like it adds a lot to it, right? So
Yeah. Don't just scrap it.
yeah, don't just grab it. You might want to try selling it, but look for his signature or like his stamp on many different things. Well, anyway, so that's about it, Carl. I don't know what else to say about my week.
Oh,
I guess next week I'll tell you about tomorrow's
pick.
experience of picking. But
Yeah, I'm not sure when I'm gonna be doing my picking. Like I didn't push really too much, so I have to reply. I met someone else who was kind of cool. This guy who does he's been collecting cars, like little cars in England since he was a kid, and it's kind of cool. I think he was born in the 50s, and they have he has video. Someone did a video just on his collection, and there he is as a kid, and yeah, basement full of die casts, and I had a good 40-minute talk with him on the weekend about his collecting and stuff like that, and he bought a couple of cars for me, so it was kind of cool. Yeah,
so
it's always fun meeting new people, right?
so he's collecting right now still.
He's still collecting, but he downgraded a bit, and I said, well, if you ever want to sell, I'm interested. But he's changing from the bigger cars, like how they have the ratios like 1 to 32.
Yeah.
So he's trying to downgrade to 1/64, I think, just because of the physicality of the size of the collection, right?
He's got a wife or kids.
I don't know. I didn't ask.
Oh, because you want to give him your card.
I talked to him. Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
I'm just kidding. I'm totally
I know.
But that's what happens, dude.
It does happen.
Guys that get into the collecting too much, and then when they pass on,
It happens to all of us, right?
yeah.
Like I always tell those guys, like, because I meet,
Sure.
because you know me, I like I've said, I talk to people a lot, right? And I always say, when they have these collections, it's like, I always say, you and I both know your kids have no interest in any of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I said, you should sell it yourself. And I said, if you need help learning eBay, I'm more than happy. I do that for fun online, right? It's like, I don't charge or anything. I'll be more than happy. And if you want to sell, then I'm more interested. But a lot of they usually they don't, right? It's too finale. They just don't want to, right? In a
Well,
way, it's like they say they do, but they kind of don't, right?
so two things happened. Like there was one time, the guy passed away. He
Yeah,
had like 1,000 die casts, but they were the bigger version, right? That you would get, and he had them all displayed in these beautiful cabinets. Must have spent a ton of money. They were all, I think they were Franklin Mint. Like they were a high end
yeah,
model, um, and they now she ended up selling them, and I think they got like $40,000, and they averaged, there must have been over 1,000. But even if it's $40 a car, they're probably worth 100 and something a car. But anyway, um, but the family had put a higher value on there that was maybe not, like, it was pretty much retail, and they didn't understand that it's a lot harder to sell it. Like, just because you have it doesn't mean it can sell right away. You know what I
you
mean?
can't
I mean, we
box.
we've learned that ourselves. Like,
Yeah,
how long is this going to take to sell? But the family doesn't understand that because they're not in the business. So they think, oh, we have a gold mine here because all these things are worth $100. But they quickly realize that it's hard to give away some of the stuff. You got to wait for that right buyer.
I know.
Second of all, kind of like when I'm walking into tomorrow, where these people live like an hour away from the mother, they have 3 weeks to clear out the house. So now this stuff has become a burden. Now
Yeah,
I'm not talking about the cars. That was a different story from a few years ago. But the place was packed with stuff and they wanted retail on everything. You know what I mean? But in this case, it's a burden. Like, it's like they got to get the house cleared out in 3 weeks, probably because they sold it, but maybe because they were lackadaisical on the stuff, or it was a quick sell, or maybe she even rented. I don't know. I don't know the full story. I guess you could just keep paying rent. But anyway, um, it's now something that they're stuck dealing with. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
So it's there's different ways to look at it. I'm glad we could come in there and deal with it, but on the same time, they could have just had an auction. They could have had an auction house come in, and you know
yeah. I
that
don't
stuff
know.
that stuff is gone. That stuff is gone within a month. You know. Now I know they got 3 weeks, but they probably had a month 2 months ago. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
they could have dealt with it. They just don't know how to deal with it, right? So, um,
it's hard to
so
deal with that. It's like because I've seen that even from dealers, right, where they need to get out of the business, but they can't let go of the thing that's worth in their eyes $100 for less than 90, right?
yeah,
Even
and
dealers,
I
right?
would say we're the same way. Like, we have stuff piled in the house, and I'm like, oh, this should go to auction, but then I'm not going to get what I should be getting
Oh
from
yeah,
it.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? But I bought it for the purpose of reselling it, and I bought things. I'm not saying to get rid of it for 50% of what it's worth. It will still probably bring me a profit, but it's just the fact that that's not what I bought it to do with. You know what I mean? I bought it to sell it for retail. So I don't want to just throw it away. But um, I don't know. Kind of rambling on there. There's different ways to look at each scenario, and I probably do that myself. But so I'll contradict myself only to contradict myself and contradict myself. But that's the way my brain works, Carl. Is
yeah.
like
I,
I
I
got
no, I'm the same way. There's stuff you
everything's
just
got a different scenario, and really it could all be dealt with the same way.
yeah,
Um, but I buy the stuff to make a to attempt to make a profit. Like, that's the goal. Um, but anyway,
no,
so I can see where they're coming from, but at the same time, we're speaking with a little bit of experience behind us in the reselling, so we know what's reality. Sometimes we try to talk ourselves out of reality, but you know.
This the story I often say is when I'm talking to these guys, I said, my friend bought a whole bunch of toy soldiers, new in box, and he bought them for a very significant discount off the price of what the guy who used to own them paid
Yeah.
or valued the collection at. And he passed away, and then his wife had to deal with it. And even though he had all the values there and everything, that she just wanted it gone. And she would have liked a lot of money, but the reality is, in order for someone to deal with all that, to put all the work into it, they need a significant discount, right? And I say, if you want top value for your collection, it's best to do it while you're still here.
And there's a little bit I'll add to that. And I've said it before, but most people here probably haven't heard it. But she had held on to that stuff for 2 years. She had a buyer, a guy that was interested, and he had a toy store, and he never came back. Now, he probably didn't try to talk her into. I didn't talk her into anything. Don't get me wrong. I even said I'm so low on this compared to what you're looking at. I don't even want. I don't feel comfortable even making an offer. But she kept demanding the offer. So he probably didn't do that, or else he probably. I think he, as a toy guy, I'm sure he would have took them. But anyway, it doesn't matter. He didn't come back. She said after I had paid for this, she had told me that I'm the only one that really showed an interest in wanting them. Um, and her sister had told her just to get a dumpster and throw them all out.
Yeah.
Like, so it's even going deeper into your direction with that comment, Carl. Like,
Yeah.
people are collectors and they think they got all this value, but now the burden of selling it or the burden of dealing with it becomes the people that it's left to who don't share the same interest
Yeah.
and knowledge and they just don't care about it, right? Like they've
The
got their own
reality.
lives.
Yeah.
So
We're all in that scenario. Like I have rental buildings, right? And I'm starting to sell them. And because Amy is afraid I'm going to like one day not wake up and she's going to have to deal with these crappy buildings, right? And I realize that it's a white elephant that you're giving these people, right? So it's
yeah,
not,
but
but
that's I would say property is a little bit different. I would think it's like better. You know what I mean?
no, no, it's worse.
Well,
Well, it's worth a lot of money, but it's a pain in the butt to deal with. You don't just put it on eBay, you got to deal with a bunch of stuff. Anyways, that's a separate thing. My point being,
yeah,
I don't want Amy to deal with stuff when I pass away, right?
right, right.
My one of my friends, he's a big rock collector, right? Like, those specimens can be worth lots of money, right? And his children
Yeah,
joked saying, when you die, we're going to crush all this stuff and we're going to have the most beautiful driveway of all time, of all glittering stone, right?
yeah.
Because they don't care, right?
And they don't understand it, and you can't
Well,
expect
they
them.
understand, they just don't care.
Yeah,
Right?
but you can't expect them to care. You know what I mean?
You can't force someone to care.
Yeah. Um, but and they're different stages of their life, especially if you're talking kids. When I was in my 20s and 30s, and my dad kind of dabbled in antiques. He didn't get into reselling like I did, but he did it as a hobby, go yard selling, and he had a booth at the antique store that I'm at and stuff. I knew he kind of did this kind of stuff on the side. I never even went there. I never had an interest in it. You know what I mean? And then you get older, you get into a different scenario of your life, and all of a sudden it's there. And I only wish, and it's not his fault. Like it's not even my fault. But
You might have been in the wrong place at that point too, right?
yeah, your mindset's not the same spot,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, and his probably wasn't when he was in his 20s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where, you know, who knows where it if it's ever going to click in. But I would say, holy Christ, what did we throw out of his house? Because we just like we were in the same. We didn't know what to do with it, and we just kind of. Now a lot of the stuff we did put in my garage, and it sat there for a year and a half. You know what I mean? Before we actually decided to have a yard sale. Um, So yeah, I don't know. Like, I think we've had this conversation in the
We
past
have.
and stuff like this, but I'm
Yeah.
just, and I don't think we're saying anything other people don't understand. But it's just like it's just one of those interesting topics.
Well, what I think about it a lot is how do you communicate to someone effectively that has a chance of them actually selling their stuff? Not in a greedy way, not in a taking advantage of them way, but in terms of helping them way. Because that's something I'm very interested in. How do you help people
I
with
think it's
those
like a,
things?
I think it's like an alcoholic. You can't help them until they want help,
Well, that's true too, very true. But at the
right?
same time, there are some people you could reach, right? Or get them over the initial fear of the whole thing of getting ripped off.
I've been at picks where they don't want anything less than retail, and
Yeah, I've seen it. You just got to walk away. Yeah.
you can't help those people,
No,
right?
no, you're doomed
And
there.
and it's a two-way street. Like
Or you get chased after and they want their stuff back.
for a camera,
Yeah.
they want an extra $10 or something,
They
right?
want another $50. Yeah.
Um, but I'm just, but it's a two-way street, and I always make it known. I'm very thankful too, like, um, because it's helping us out too, right? It's keeping us busy if they agree on the price that we're looking for, because we can still make a little bit of a profit and pay commissions and everything else that's there. And we're helping them, so it's a two-way street. Like, they're helping us and we're helping them, like, right? So
Yeah. And every buy, you're going to have the bad parts of the buy and really good parts, right?
and
Like
if they
my
took it
best,
all to auction, there's no guarantee that they're going to make more money, because they lose 30% right off the bat. Plus, there's no guarantee they're going to get anything for some of the stuff.
and they have to move everything.
Um,
Auctions, like, well, I guess
in
it
some
depends on
cases,
how
I
much.
mean, if it's a house where the person lived alone and they're just the auction house will just come to the house,
Okay. Yes. That's
right?
true.
Um,
But
but
even, yeah, yeah, like it's hard to tell. Like, would they get more at auction or more from us? I'm not sure. Because I'm going
um,
to go in and cherry pick, right? Uh, to a certain extent.
yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell you either. I know auctions, by the time they pay for photos and everything out, and you average everything out, they take 40% probably by the time you put in photos and everything, because some of the stuff doesn't get anything, and you're paying, if it sells for $2 or $4, whatever the minimum bid is, but they're charging you $4 for photos, you're plus 30%. You're
Plus
you're losing
GST.
you're losing on that listing,
Yeah.
um so by the time it's all done, I mean, you could be losing 50% of what everything sells for, and it might not even get to retail.
Yeah.
It's, and if you put a croc from 1860s in an auction, well, you might have a buyer that'll pay $500 to $800 for it, depending on the condition. But you put it in an auction, you might get $50.
Like, you need two people who want the thing.
You need two people that will really want the thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And not to resell it, but to collect it. So
Yeah.
you're taking chances, right? So
Like,
it,
I've been to auctions where they had huge amounts of lots not even selling. Like 5, 6, they even were offering 6 box lots together for $5.
yeah,
No one took it.
yeah. Well, look at the ephemera stuff I got on that one auction. Like, these were pile lots,
Yeah.
and those I was getting for some of the brochures from the 1930s and 20s for uh like vacation places in California. Like, I was getting like 50, 60 to $100 per pamphlet. Well, I got the whole thing for $10, like the whole
Yeah.
pile. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. So it can be worth something, but it doesn't mean like you have to know how to sell it to get the max. And I might even been giving them away too cheap. Who knows? I don't know, right?
Or the other scenarios, there's a good reason we find stuff at the thrift stores. Some families just donate everything, right? They don't get anything.
Yeah, yeah. The only thing that bugs me about the thrift stores, and I know you do well, Carl, because it's a different spot, but the places here, I find they look the stuff up, you know, And probably because where you are, you get so much stuff that they can't possibly look everything up. You know
Yeah,
what I
they
mean?
can't. Not everything.
But
They'll look up
here, it
gold
just
and silver, obviously, but
anything that I'm interested in, it's always behind the counter. You
yeah.
know, I'm not saying I've never found anything at thrift stores, but it's, I mean, like, I don't know. It's just different.
When you go back in the back of a Value Village or Goodwill or whatever, you'll see car after car after. You have to wait to give them stuff for free. That's how it can be, right? Can you imagine that amount of volume of stuff that's coming in that back door?
Yeah,
They
I don't see that. I've very rarely seen a vehicle at the drop off spot
where
at
you are.
any place I'm at. Yeah,
Oh, well here I know because I get coupons, right? There's always a wait almost.
yeah,
And so they're just like, can you imagine the amount of volume of stuff coming through
yeah.
that they have to screen out, right?
Well, dude, just look at the clothing.
Oh, the
Their
clothing.
clothing is constantly being looked at, and there's so much clothing.
That's what used to get me really upset when people were like, "You guys are stealing from the thrift stores." And it's like, you have obviously never been to a thrift store if you think there's a lack of stuff at the thrift store. It
Yeah,
is jam packed.
resellers are probably keeping the thrift stores alive.
Yeah, I wonder how much we are. Like we're obviously cherry picking, but we're doing the work for the thrift store in that case too with our knowledge, right? And don't get me wrong, thrift stores do pull stuff out before it hits the front. Like it definitely happens. Uh, I know it's a lot less cameras could come through now. They're going somewhere.
Yeah,
But anywho,
yeah.
I find all this stuff interesting. How do you get yourself in between the person getting rid of their stuff and where if they're giving it to the thrift store? How can you get in between that too and give some money to the family
Well,
without with from people who don't know you, right?
yeah. So I think you gotta. I think there's different ways that happens, right? It's first of all, you have to have some sort of system. Mine, kind of yours too, I guess, right? You put a sign in your booth too, but I
Yeah.
get my picks from contacts through the booth, through putting a sign in the booth, that kind of thing. But you have to figure out a way to do that. Some people will do cleanouts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good to know those people that do the cleanouts.
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
There's lots of different ways for sure.
yeah, and it's it's one of those things where you just have to kind of figure it out. Like I know the last pick was because of the booth, and the pick tomorrow is because of the booth, right? So those picks are because of the booth. Um, how good tomorrow goes, I don't know. But and then you
Yeah.
can go to auctions. Like I don't know. I mean, we kind of talk. I guess I'm
We
repeating
talked
what
about
I've
this, but still.
said before, but
Yeah.
you just got to find a way to source your stuff, and then kind of build from there. I mean, I think if you were to put out, I remember Chris was talking about getting pamphlets and putting them on doors and stuff like that. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Like, right? You could probably do very well doing that, but at the same time, like you could get like really too much. Like you might not
Well, you get
like
a lot of junk too, right?
right. So, like who knows where that could go? But you got to take on what you can handle. I guess I don't know. I'm kind of at that I kind of had that sweet spot where I get a lot of stuff and I can pay decent prices, but I'm also kind of overflowed. You know what I mean?
Hey, my big goal this week, and I accomplished it, was to be able to get to my furnace. It's a
Oh,
nice
did you
clear path
accomplish?
now to my furnace. Yeah,
Why? Because you moved some stuff to another
yeah.
location.
I cleaned. I built a couple more shelves. Anyways, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I cleaned up, but I still have a bunch of bins next to me. There's no room for all my bins.
Well, I took a bunch of stuff to auction. Stuff
Oh,
that I felt not lately, but like
in the past.
like later in last year, like October's and November's. I had a yard sale, got rid of some stuff there. You
Yeah.
know, so there are ways to get rid of stuff too. Um, I don't know. I don't know. It just I can't even remember how we got into this conversation, but it's just interesting. It's fun. How? Oh, I guess you were saying like, how do you get to know people that are wanting to get rid of this stuff? I think it's just keep grinding it out there, and every now and then you get lucky. It's like going
Yeah.
fishing. You just keep throwing the line out there, and every now and then a fish will hit. Right. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I've had those toy soldiers for 2 years now, or is it 2 years?
Oh God, really?
Well, a year and a half for sure. Let's say a year and a half. Um, and I still got a lot left.
Oh, dude, yeah. We've been the
So,
buying side is the easiest part of this in a way.
hey,
But stuff we love the most.
those toy soldiers, dude, have been like amazing. Like, don't get me wrong. I wish I had, you know, I wish tomorrow somebody called me and I have to go get another one of those picks because they're very easy to list. I'm getting down to the point where probably half of what I have left is, a lot of paint loss, or because if it's just a little spot of paint, that's not a big deal, right? You
It's
just
the junky parts that can be really hard.
well,
Yeah.
really hard is it's kind of I'm going to say something counter to that. And it could be hard, but I know there's a lot of guys in there that you're not going to listen. It's hard. It's almost going to be impossible to get the same prices for the stuff that's broken. But if you talk to the guys that collect these stuff, they will gladly take I don't know, a $60 toy soldier and pay 20 for it and fix it or paint it. You know what I
More
mean?
power to them. Yeah.
Because that's their hobby. That's what they
Yep.
love.
Yeah.
So if they can get, four for $60, that's money to me because these things are small, and I'll give you four for $60.
Yeah.
If it's damaged or has a lot of paint loss, because that's just pure profit for me still, and I have a way to unload it. But these
Hmm.
guys will paint them themselves. They got this whole setup. If the gun's broken, they'll just glue it back on, or they'll do other stuff with it. So there's still a way of getting rid of that stuff too. So and the one guy at the booth, he has bought a lot of toy soldiers, and he asked me if I would sell him the broken stuff.
Yep.
So you never know. Like I just think they're all around pretty decent, been pretty good, and I would buy if I had a chance to buy another, which will never happen. I'll never find that buy again. I don't never say never, but I would happily buy
Yeah.
that again. Every year and a half, I'd buy it. But I just wonder if I have a block of the week. I don't know.
Yeah. I didn't have too many sales online. I shipped out a what did I ship? Oh, Logitech telephone of all things, and I sold like cross stitch this morning, and just like here and there, things I got to ship out, and I haven't been listing, so I can't really say anything.
Yeah. These toy soldiers were in their frontline figures. They sold very quickly. I underpriced them for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was only two. Well, there was four figures, two in each box, only two boxes, and they sold within 24 hours. So I don't know about that. That's crazy. But anyway, there was something I wanted to talk about. I don't know. I can't remember now, so it's not even going to matter. But I blocked somebody for something, but it was a stupid comment again. But I think I deleted the comment, so I'm not going to be able to find it. But I did have a block of the week.
It's funny, after all that talk of me like EIS, 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 I haven't had an EIS sale for a while now. It's kind of funny.
Really?
Yeah, honestly, I'm only selling something every 5 days right now. Maybe 4 days. So
I'm going to see if there's a block of the week. Yeah, it's not bringing up it. I just went into my list, the last couple, but I can't. Nothing's coming up.
Are you saying that because Tina said that?
Yeah, yeah. She asked
Yeah.
what the block of the week.
You missed the block of the week. Yeah. That's the first comment from Spotify from the week before. By the way, Tina, if you ever want to come on the podcast, we'd love to have you as a guest. No pressure or anything, but if you want to, let us know. It's always because I know you do Facebook and you do what's it called? Posh, and we don't really do that. So up to you.
Yeah, I can't remember what the block of the week was. I got. I don't know. It was actually a pretty good week, and then I almost got stuff going out every day. Going out today, I compliant shipping refund any savings regards that. So I got those two toy soldiers going out today. Those are going international, and then I sold two things. One was like a ripcord, like it's got a zip cord in the one tire, and the car goes down. Sonic powered sidewinder. $65 on that. That's Canadian.
Yeah,
That's
toys
going
are
up.
great. Yeah.
And then one of those NASCAR put together kits thing, 45 on it. So that's going out today as well. Those two are local. So, and then I had some stuff go out yesterday and the day before. So it's actually been not too bad. I would say a lot of it is international shipping though.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's just by chance. So
Oh, you know what I did sell that was kind of neat? Well,
no.
one of those Netsuk.
Oh yeah.
It was a Ram, and $65 for that, Carl. And I found that in a toy lot. I got two of them. There was puppies and there was the Ram,
Oh, cool.
and they were kind of neat and well done. But you're trying to like, are they resin? What are they? But if you look underneath, they got two holes in their Natsuk, which is basically a Chinese, like an Asian carved craft thing, but they're buttons for some clothing or something. Like, I'm not saying they're being used for that, but that's kind of the purpose.
Yeah, it's a highly collectible thing. Yeah. Yeah.
So that was just finding in a toy lot, like a lot, like a $5 buy or something. Like it was crazy. Did you see the poster I sold?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what the hell is this?
So that is Electric Circus, which is from Toronto, in the '80s, maybe '90s too. But I think it had something to do with the music MTV music television thing, not MTV music television, I guess.
Okay, I had to describe this poster. So there's a picture of a human figure with a pig's head with boobs
And
and maple leafs across the nips.
yeah, and then
Poster.
some funky, like it's pretty interesting. I found that at an estate, and it would have been just a paper poster that they would have just had on poles and stuff throughout Toronto, or that could have been into some sort of like maybe a pub or something at the entrance. Like it was pinned up. You could see the thumbtack
Yeah.
holes in there. And I had one guy actually give me a bit of a info dump on this, and I never put it in the listing. But I think I started this thing at around $50. I ended up selling it for $25 plus shipping.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that went out to Toronto, but just funky crazy stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
but the one guy that gave me the info dump on this said that there are a lot of collectors out there for Electric Circus stuff. And he goes, he actually said that I described it improperly. There's a way of, I don't know. This was about 3 weeks ago. He goes, I could have described it better with more info. And I just never got to it. I kind of forgot about it until then this other person came in and bought it. So
I get those messages once in a while.
Yeah, I do appreciate them though.
I
Like,
do.
do.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't get angry. It's like, thank you for letting me know. Like I don't always, like the ones I don't really always pay attention to is like, this is overpriced. Like those ones, not so much.
Yeah.
because there's always those people. But
Yeah. So that's it. I mean, there's if you scroll down, there's some decent sales there. I think I talked about the Indian carving last week, so that was good.
yeah,
Um, but if you, I don't know, can you tell what ones are global shipping, international shipping?
no,
You can, eh?
not I. From looking at your listings, no. Only
No.
looking at my own orders, they have that little globy thing next to them.
I would say it's 50-50, at
Yeah.
least maybe 60,
Well,
40.
you can tell. You should be able to tell for your own stuff,
Yeah,
right?
but I'm just scrolling down there and trying like, okay, one, two, four. It's a little bit hard to really give an accurate account because I might go 4 global shipping, and then I got one buyer that buys 12 or
Yeah,
7, like 18 toy soldiers. Does that count as one buy or 18
yeah.
buy?
Whatever. It doesn't matter, does it?
Well, it does because it skews that global shipping ratio a bit,
Right.
right? And then you know,
I'm just happy for the sales, man.
dude, don't get me wrong, but I mean, we're bringing up the percentage. I'm going to say it's a roughly 50-50
Wow, that's
right
good.
now. Well, not really because it was 80-20. So
Right.
right. So, to equal what's selling in Canada, like I don't know, it is what it is. All right, what else we got here? Anything else, Carl?
No, let's get into comments of the week.
Comments of the week. Alrighty.
Oh, I did one from Tina there already. So do you want to do the other one from? I think. Um,
Well,
did we do the one from Adam last time? I can't.
nope. Nope.
So you want to do that one?
Yeah, I'll do Adams here. Hi guys, just letting you know that I'm still listening to every episode. Just haven't had much to say. LOL. That's fine, Adam. Glad you're listening still, and chime in whenever you get something to say. Know what I mean? I do know what you mean.
100%.
100%. Is that, is it? Do I say that,
We both do.
or you say that?
Uh,
Actually, I don't think I ever heard Carl say 100%. Scott, you definitely okay. You definitely cut way back on saying know what I mean. What else did I say? Like what?
I'm sure we have all these things. Like I know, because I was saying 100% around the house, and I said I totally got that from talking to Scott. So I know I do. It's hard not to. You don't even realize you're doing it, saying the same things over.
I
That's where the drinking game exists.
I,
You know
I
what I
think it
mean?
was Tina or somebody had talked about me saying like a lot. I think it was like.
Oh yeah, I
I
wouldn't
think it
be
was like
surprised.
there's something I was. Oh wait, it wasn't like it was. Maybe it was. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? Yes. Okay. So he covered that. It was. I think that's what it was. Know what I mean? Know what I mean?
Thank
I
you,
don't
Adam.
know. We'll figure it out throughout the conversation today. The rest of the conversation. You definitely have cut way back on. You know what I mean? I think that's what it was actually. Take care, guys. Well, thanks, Adam. You know what I mean?
100%.
100%, girl. Yeah.
Uh, I'll,
Um.
I'll do the next one
Yep.
from Tina Mack. Guess I was late on my comment last week. Oh, we saw it. We caught it. Great to hear you as a guest again, Serge. I wish I was on vacation. Had enough of winter already. Yeah, me too. Especially lately, it's been snowing and snowing and snowing. Um, I am Scottish and French, and my DNA had a little German too, Carl. Lots of good tips this week. Thanks. Hey, thanks for listening, Tina.
Yeah. Because if he ain't Scottish, you crap.
It ain't Scottish, yeah.
Um. Yeah, my dad was born in Scotland, so my grandma was a McGregor, but yeah, definitely Scottish roots. I think on my mom's side, like they were a few generations in Canada, but I think if you go back far enough, it's Irish,
Hmm.
Irish English. So, uh, another one for well, this is a different Adam. I absolutely love you guys. Nice. Well, we love you
Thanks.
too, Adam. I love you too, and have learned so much. Thank you. I just got my first booth. Oh, nice. First booth, eh? Well, you first of all, you got to keep us updated on how that goes
Yes.
because I love the booth. It's a little bit of a travel now since we moved in July, but I don't know. I just don't set your expectations too high on your first booth. That's
No.
that's my biggest thing, and don't give up on it. Like you could be in a really good location and you might have to move around a little bit like to a different store like to really get full. Like I'm at my third one and all of them were decent, but this one is definitely best for me.
Yeah, when I see advice given, it's definitely location is so important. Because you can have a well-run, nice place, but no one goes there. Then there's, what are you
and
gonna do?
and and I think the key to a booth is don't overprice your stuff.
That's hard. Yeah, finding right prices and what sells is a
Yeah.
hard thing to figure out. Like
um
I belong to a Facebook group for antique booths, and a lot of the comments are like, "I can't sell enough to make my rent," or like, "What sells?" or I have a beautiful looking booth, but it's not paying for itself. A lot of the questions are all continually that. It's uh it's not easy because you
and
get these dreams, right? I'm going to put the stuff in and it's going to fly out the door and it's going to be great. But, you know, I keep telling myself when I put stuff in the booth is like, does anyone actually want this? And can they not find it elsewhere easily? Because like at first I put in like just random toys, like they're cheap, but no one wanted them because you could easily get them anywhere, right? Like
you know,
why would they even buy it here, even if it is cheap? So that's still something I'm trying to figure out. So
but feel out your store because sometimes it is a good place to offload some other stuff
yeah.
if you're willing to give it, you know, I don't know if cheap's the word. Like if it's worth $5, like a keychain, if it's worth under $10 and you put $5 on it, like is that cheap? Like if you get $5 for a keychain, I think that a keychain, I think that's pretty good. If you can buy a whole like 100 of them for $10, like you know what I mean. So
Yeah, yeah. And I think the other thing I found too is people will cherry pick out of your collections,
they're definitely going to cherry pick for sure.
right? So often, like you're like, oh, the sales are going well, and then they die. It's because the good stuff they've cherry picked out.
Yeah,
Uh,
or so move your stuff around because sometimes
oh, that yeah.
it's just where they see it, right?
I can tell you how many times I moved something just because I'm taking a shelf down and sold the item because it's sitting somewhere else temporarily. It's such a big thing of where things are, the lighting and all that. I'm still learning that, but it seems so silly at the time. It's like, what do you mean? I just put it over here at this angle with this light? It's like, yeah, it works.
And don't dismiss the inexpensive stuff. So what I'm going to say here is you don't want your whole booth inexpensive. You don't want to waste your
No.
time on that. But if you could put 100 keychains in a little box that takes up no room and people can dig through it, or you can put a tote where not much else is going to sit because it slides under a table or something, but just enough so people can see it, and it's filled with horror DVDs. People will dig through those things and they'll chip away at your rent,
Yeah.
right? So you might sell 10 DVDs, but you're not going to sell too much anywhere like anything else that goes into that spot. But that's $50. And if your rent's 200, $50 is a pretty good chunk to have come off that, right?
Yeah.
You're not they're not there as great money makers, but they're filling a void where not much else is going to sit. But DVDs will sell there. It's horror DVDs. In my case, that's horror. I don't know,
Yeah. My DVDs aren't selling anymore. So I've
but
actually
but
like
let's be honest, Carl. Are they horror DVDs? Are they more generic, like
more
just
generic, but I
yeah,
you was selling them, right? Non-horror ones.
yeah,
But a lot of them have gone and now they're just taking up space. So I'm going to replace them once I have a chance, right? And I have them cheap. I have them at $2 each, right?
yeah? I put
So
mine at 4, but you got to make sure the condition's good. Make sure the disc is in there. Um, I have mine at $4 a piece, and they sell, but they're all horror. And if you can, and I've lucked out a couple times, if you can find a collection of them where they're kind of, I don't want to say obscure, but they're kind of like obscure. Like you get your Chucky and all that kind of stuff, right? Your Predator and stuff, but if you can get like, I don't know, like, I don't know, Grandma killed the pig than me, like something weird titled,
Yeah.
like that kind of like B movie stuff. That stuff like does pretty good,
Mhm.
right? Because people haven't seen it before, they want it just because of that, and they usually the cover, the art of the cover is way better than the movie. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, for
So
sure.
don't watch it and then judge it. Just put it in there. Um, I don't know, but that does good for me. That doesn't mean it's going to do good other places, right? But
Yeah, for me, number one is vinyl records, jerseys,
see, jerseys didn't do
toys.
well for me.
But now jerseys aren't selling because all the
Yeah,
good ones are gone,
yeah,
right? So at first it was like, I, you know, the 30-40% of my sales was jerseys in terms of dollar value, but now it's down to maybe 10% or 5% because all the good ones are gone, right?
yeah,
So you have to be a little careful of what you think is selling, but really it's the other thing too is like, there are exceptions. This is not a black and white rule, but I like having groups of like objects if I can rather than one offs, right? Like for, I don't know what it's a pipe, like a smoking pipe. I'd rather have a group of 10 of them than I would have one. Because if you see, a group of 10 more, people are more likely to find to go look at them, right?
yeah, for sure. But if you see one for $1 and it's got no cracks in it, it's pretty decent at a yard sale. I'd pick it up for $1 and throw
Oh
it in
yeah, I'm
the
not talking about sourcing. I'm talking about in the booth, right?
Yeah, but I'd throw it in the booth. I'd put
Yeah.
12.95 on it, throw it in the booth, even though it sits by itself. But if you come across a collection and you can throw that in the booth, they're gonna do much better as a collection.
Right.
Like sell them individually, but group them up as a collection. Is that what you mean, Carl?
Well,
Like don't
no.
sell them as a collection, just display
Yeah.
them as a
Yeah.
display
No.
them.
Yeah. I'm saying like I'd rather have lots of like objects in the same spot if I can, but
Right,
it's not always possible, right? It's
right.
like I have like a telephone in there of like I don't know, Snoopy or something. I'm not going to have like 30 phones in there, right? So
No, we're talking pipes.
yeah, that was an example, but yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Um yeah, everything to me is its own. You deal with it individually, but
yeah. I'm just saying like I don't like one-offs in the booth, like for magazines. If I had one heavy metal magazine, I'm not going to bring it into the booth.
no.
No, I would want to like at least 20 or 30 or 40 so people can flip through them.
All right.
That's me. You're doing a lot better than me, so what the hell do I know?
I don't know. I think it's just the location and what we deal with. Plus, I'm there. We're open 5 days a week, where you're there one day a week.
Yeah, I wish I had that.
Yeah, and I don't have to be there, but I do pay a higher commission for that as well.
I think your costs are actually lower than mine.
If you stretch it over throughout the month per day,
Yeah.
probably,
Oh,
probably.
yeah, I think it is cheaper. Yeah.
But we're paying rent and commission.
Yeah. Even then, I think I haven't done the math, but I have a feeling that you're getting a much better return on your
And I
money.
got more probably floor space.
Yeah, I'm talking about per square foot, but whatever. Because like for me, it's when I say, oh, it's $68 for a 10 by 20, people think, oh, that's not much, but that's every Sunday, right?
Yeah,
And I have to physically be there. And I
yeah,
have to hope the weather isn't bad that freaking Sunday.
yeah.
Because if it is bad, no one goes at all. And I'm still paying the $68.
And
So
driving an hour there and back.
and driving the hour there, yeah, and I have to go, blah, blah, blah. It's like if I had a choice, I would do what you do. It's just
Yeah.
that a lot of the booths around places around here don't want you unless you have stuff they're particularly looking for. So
So yeah. So and they're just protecting their asset.
oh, I don't blame them. They don't
Yeah.
want like especially if they're getting like that 10% that you're saying, they don't want to be a storage unit for someone.
Yeah. And as someone that has a booth in the facility, I wouldn't want that type of people in there that are just using it as a storage unit. I'd want somebody that's a go-getter that wants to take care of their booth, well, at least once a week and bring new stuff in, and you know what I mean? That kind of
You,
stuff.
you know what would be a really good business is you have your antique booth building at the front and your storage unit at the back. I bet you can make good money with that.
There's probably that's probably how most of the antique stores that are run like mom and pop ones, like the ones that don't rent out their space. But like honestly, dude, I don't know. Like I hear people are doing good and I hear others are doing bad, but if you're in a good spot, I bet you those guys make a killing because I know what we do per day. I don't know. Like sometimes it's very, very appealing, but it's such a nerve wracking step.
What are you talking about?
Like if you had your own shop and you had that,
Oh, right. Yeah, no, I zero interest in that.
but I like it's it's not going to happen because I just don't have the cojones for that. But
It's very expensive. It's like I have rentals, right? And I hear people, it's like landlords making money hand and foot. And I can tell they've never done any landlording or know anything about the accounting of landlording at all because it is not. Because they just take your rent, times it by 12, and think everything is hunky dory. And it's like, it's not like that. Or like people go to grocery stores. It's like, yeah, 98% of like, of the money they make in the grocery store goes back out as expenses.
yeah,
It's
but
like,
I'm not even talking about rentals. I'm
right.
talking about a mom and pop that owns their own shop.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's a very difficult business to be in because you make a lot less than you think.
Okay,
This is expensive,
okay,
right?
but if you're average, like you got to be making a lot less than you think to not be making anything based on the numbers that I see here. Now, like I said just before I said that is I know some places say they're not doing good and others, but I think a lot of times that can be corrected just through pricing or advertising or like it also depends on location and stuff. But I think what I'm saying is I'm thinking sometimes it's very appealing to see if I take what I'm doing in the booth with the small amount of floor space and then I see what the store is doing with that amount of space. Sometimes I'm thinking it's very appealing. You know what I mean? Because put it this way, I'm paying rent and a commission,
Yep.
right? So if I multiply that by just the bottom floor to have the entire bottom floor, like I know square footage rent and all this other stuff, but if I'm already making a good solid amount and I'm way overpaying compared to what having your own place would be because they're obviously making money off me, so I got to be overpaying compared to what they're paying. You know, do you know what I'm saying?
Well,
Because they
that's their
wouldn't be
profit.
they wouldn't be
I
making
hope they charge you more than it costs them. Otherwise, why are they there?
exactly. So if I'm still making a profit and they're making a profit off me, do you
I
get
hope
where
they're
I'm?
making a profit off of you. I don't know because I don't know their expenses.
Well, I can tell you right now, they definitely are.
Well, if you know their expenses, then yeah, you would know.
Yeah.
But I have
Well,
no idea how much they pay for heat or water, property tax, insurance,
I can tell just
damage,
talking with them.
wages.
By talking with them,
Right.
I know that they're doing pretty good.
I'm just saying, as a landlord, I've heard it before, the same scenario,
Right.
because people don't know how expensive it is to actually run something. Like that's,
Oh, I'm not
I know,
saying
and
it's
I'm not
not.
saying they're not making money. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying,
I
I,
I know
I
if they
just don't
weren't
know the
making.
numbers.
If I put it this way,
I need my Excel sheet.
I know roughly. How do I say this? With like, I don't think I'm saying anything I shouldn't be.
Well, you don't
Well,
have to
okay,
say any numbers. Like,
no, but if you know how much something was roughly paid for and how much they could get it now if they sold it, trust me, they would be a lot better off to sell it if they weren't making a good amount of money.
and often they are. Like for me, it's that way because the capital return on the equity is horrible.
So you're saying it's better to sell it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Well,
saying too.
yeah.
If but instead they're putting money into it. They're putting a lot of construction on the building because it's an older building, and they wouldn't be doing it if they weren't doing well.
Maybe.
What do you mean maybe?
Because you can put money into something and not get a good return on it. I'd say I'm not saying that they're not. I'm just saying I just think it's
I'm
more
saying I talked
complicated.
to them. I talked to
Right.
them since I moved out here. Probably since like Octoberish, maybe Septemberish, couple times a month. But I used to talk to them a couple times a week all the time. Like I know the place is doing well,
Good. Like
right?
that's a good one, right?
Yeah, that's what. And I'm doing well, and I know they're doing well. Like even when
Good.
I don't do well, like I just said earlier at the show, they are doing well. So that's on me. You know what I mean? When I
Yeah.
had a bad week, and I'm like, oh, it could be the snow, it could be this, but at the same time, I'm like, but the store still did good. You know what I mean? So that to me is on me. But I'm just saying,
Yes.
you can be as negative about it might look like they're making money. You could say,
I'm not being
but I'm
negative.
telling you right now,
Well, I'm not being negative. I'm
in
just
the
saying
in 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 the situation I'm in, could it change tomorrow? Anything could change, Carl. I know that, but I'm saying as of right now and going through the past, I don't know, 3 years, I don't know. I'm gonna say that they're doing pretty good. They're
good.
doing pretty good because if they weren't, they would still do really good because they own the building to sell the building. You know what I mean? Because property values were and probably kind of still are pretty high.
Well, here they're soft now, but yeah, but soft from a high, right?
Yeah, and I think in that area there's we could get into all the
And I
reasons
don't want
why,
to.
but there's still a fair amount of people retiring from the city and coming down to where we to that
Right.
area, and they're still buying houses. Like I don't think there's a I don't think, and I'm gonna say since October I don't really know because I haven't been paying attention because I'm out here since July. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I'm gonna say based on everything I'm hearing that property values are pretty much the same there. Like they haven't really come down too much.
Yeah.
If it takes if it took you 3 days to sell a house, it might take you 2 weeks, but you're still selling it. You're still getting what you want out of it. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So I don't know. I mean, we could go down that rabbit hole really hard if you
Let's
wanted
not.
to,
No.
but I'm just saying that it, and I don't want to keep getting distracted. I'm always saying it's all location, it's all what you're selling, it's the prices. There's a lot of variables that go into it, but it's a very tempting sometimes. I'm not going to do it because I don't have the cojones, but I'm saying it's very tempting sometimes to wonder how well you could do after having some knowledge and opening a place in the right spot and all this other thing that does take a little bit of luck. But I still think there's some places that are doing very well out there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, but I
My
th- but
my
at the same
goal is
time,
just to get to minimum wage. So and I haven't
at the
reached
same
that.
time, at the same time, the places that are not doing well,
Yeah.
even in a really good prosperous time, probably aren't going to do that well.
Yeah. They're not
You know
run
what I
well
mean?
or the bad spot or who knows. Wrong customers, wrong
Like if you look at
customer
auction
support.
places, like some of them are doing like fantastic. They're ahead of their expectations and all this kind of stuff. Like some are doing like super califragilisticexpialidocious type sale. I don't
Right.
know. I don't even know if I said that
I
right.
don't know enough about the auction houses, like
No, but
to
I'm
know if
just
they're
saying
doing well
people
or
are out
not.
there buying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If I but some places aren't doing that well. And I think that's just history. I think some places do really well for whatever reason and other places don't. So I'm just saying I still think that it's very tempting is all I'm saying. I don't have the cojones to do it, but I think some places kind of do. It's like eBay. Just like eBay. Some people do really well and some people don't, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. But I'm just saying, if you had the right, I think if you hit a right location and really priced and worked hard at it, I mean, I think an antique store could do well. And some of them, I'm like, the problem is you got to switch your inventory up and have people come in there and seeing new stuff. If they keep seeing the same pile of stuff, they're going to stop coming,
Yeah, I get that too. Which is,
right?
it's like people complain about their sales being under 1,000 each week, but they don't bring $1,000 of stuff in. It's like, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah. And if you're getting your stuff from collectors or from clean outs or whatever the situation is, it's got to be advertised. Like maybe you need a section that is antiques, maybe a section of vintage, a section of like it has to be kind of planned out so that people that are there for a certain thing are are seeing new inventory for that area. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
otherwise it gets very dusty.
Yeah,
I
but
think
it's just
also like when I talk to like those booth people who run the stores, right? They like people who are specialists as well because they bring in the same people over and over to buy and buy and buy rather than the random people who have random stuff where they don't have that same draw, they find. That's what they tell me at least. So,
well, I would say the purpose of that would be because they're still eclectic in nature, but they're just kind of like I said, you have your section of that area. So if a guy's doing like pulp culture, music, and all that kind of stuff, people that are into that are still coming to the store. But if you have a bottle guy or you have an advertisement sign guy, your store is still eclectic, but you're niching down on your vendors. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So I I don't I don't know if that's I don't know. I can see both sides of that. I personally think to have eclectic in your booth for me makes more sense. I'm appealing a little bit to everybody, but the guys that deal with bottles and advertising and I don't know. It's I mean I could have a conversation about this all day to be honest with you, Carl, but it's like if you sell two signs a year for 10 grand each, like how much are you paying for those signs? But if you have like a bunch of books and a couple books get your money back and you have a bunch of toys or I'm just trying to think randomly different stuff that I sell, but there's a return on investment type thing that's involved. There's a lot of scenarios that are involved, right? So you might look, wow, like holy, he sold a sign for 10 grand. Well, if he's only sold two that year and he's paid 5 grand or more each, he's not really making that much by the time you take commission and rent and stuff out of that place. You know what I mean? But it looks great. It sounds really good. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I know. Like that's a sort of saying I have. There's a lot of people sometimes I feel they buy something for 90 and they sell it for 100 and they think they made $10.
Yeah.
They didn't. They lost money on that.
So there's a lot of variables in play and stuff. But anyway,
It's a hard. Anyways, good luck, Adam. Like it's. Let us know how it goes. I am curious how it goes for you and what type of stuff you sell too. I'm veering more and more towards toys and magazines and vintagey 1970s, 80s, 90s stuff right now because I find that's what's selling for me.
all right.
YouTube.
YouTube. Go for it, Carl.
Uh, one comment from Carver Man.
Carver Man.
It was a pleasure chatting with you, gentlemen. Thank you. Hey, thank you for coming on.
Honestly, Carver Man, the pleasure was all mine.
Yeah, you should have heard the stuff we said about you after you like left abruptly at the end.
Well, I did. Carl did.
Well, I tell it straight to his face. So. Yeah. No, thank you so much for coming on. It's always fun getting a different perspective and not hearing Hearing different voices is sometimes really good.
But next time when we say, okay, just a second, Carver man, we got I'm just gonna stop the show here and then we can talk after. You just clicked off and we'll laugh.
Yeah, I
Like,
told him about that.
oh, okay.
I said you didn't have to leave.
Yeah, you just have to give me a second to shut it down.
Yeah. He thought once like it stopped, that was like time to go. I was like, no, it's
No,
okay.
because we'll shoot the shit after. But I'm like, where'd he go?
Yeah, I know. If anyone's interested in coming on the show and you just let us know, right?
Yeah.
I
Tina.
think we're pretty open to anyone who wants to. So
Yeah.
and if we don't like you, we'll just cut all your crap out. You'll never have existed on the show. No, it's good. It'd be nice to have. It's always good to have people on. Our only request is that you have a laptop with a video camera. You're not going to be shown on the show, but so we can do the StreamYard. Because I've invited a couple of people on and they didn't have laptops. So
Yeah, it can be a desktop. I mean, just a
or
computer.
whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like a way of us communicating with you
Did
over the
Carverman
internet.
does Carverman use his phone?
He does, but at least
Yeah.
he can do it. Remember,
Yeah,
because
so
I asked my other friend Chris, and he didn't have any way of talking to us except with a telephone. So
Oh,
that wasn't going to work.
that wasn't
So,
that long.
or my friend John's in the same
Like
boat.
like a 1980s telephone.
Yeah, it's like we don't even have a landline. Anyways,
Yeah, no, it's okay. No, that's good.
so anything exciting coming up in the next week? For me,
Well,
the answer is no.
well, just a pick tomorrow, which
Oh yeah,
I actually don't want to overdo the expectations, but I kind of have a feeling there's going to be some interesting stuff there.
yeah,
Like it's unfortunate the woman has passed on, but we're all going to,
yeah,
and like I've said, that remember that one. I mean, we got some new listeners, so I'll kind of repeat a story. But remember that one where the lady knew she was going to pass away within the
yeah,
month or so? She
yeah,
was very weak and frail. She was an elderly woman, but she wanted to sell her antiques the way she had collected them through yard
yeah,
sales and stuff.
yeah.
And over a long weekend, they had a 4-day yard sale. I kind of think I would like that same thing. I mean, 98% of the people were very respectful and decent and good. You're always going to get those numbskulls in there, but for the most part, like people were very good and respectful, and she was bang on the prices, a little higher than you'd like, but not overly high to the point where it was
Mhm.
unrealistic to resell
Yeah,
it. Like she was pretty good, and it's just I mean, I think if I was to go, I think that's what I would have Steph do. You know what I mean? And she she would probably just give everything away, but um, she knows her prices too. But she's always like she's overly kind. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I remember our yard sale, and this woman had a box. I'm like, wait a second, I didn't sell you that box. Where'd you get that? She goes, oh no, she did. She goes for $2. I'm like, let me look in there. I don't even know what she sold you. And she goes, oh no, it's too late. She's holding the box. I'm like, that's my stuff. She can't sell you my stuff for $2. And Steph's like, just let her have it. Let her have it. It's fine. And I'm like, you don't even know what's in there. Like, you know what I mean? So I know she would give it away. But um no, but anyway, I don't even know where I was going with that. But
oh. Speaking of that, one last thing, it was kind of funny. So like on the Sunday there, a couple of kids, their parents are trying to teach their kids to negotiate. So they're buying a couple of Mario plushes, right? And I was asking $5. And the father said to the son, "Oh, offer him $3, right?" And the poor kid was completely confused. And it's like, but it's $5. Well, offer him three. Okay, I how about $10? That's what the kid said. How about $10? And like the parents like, no, you're going up. You're going the wrong way. And it was just so funny. And then they had the second son do the same thing. He did the same thing. It's funny. He didn't understand it. And I like upped how much they were willing to pay. And I said, you guys come back when your father isn't around.
but
Negotiate then.
that's kind of an
It's cute.
interesting it's kind of an interesting thing to get them accustomed to it at a young age. I don't have a
Well, it
problem.
was great. It was just they didn't get it. They didn't understand negotiation, like the concept.
Yeah, I
So they were a
don't.
little young.
I don't really have a problem as long as the person is not being like lowballing ridiculous.
Oh, these were cheap toys, so I didn't care.
Yeah, but if somebody
Like,
wants to come in and offer a lower price, especially if they're return customers, like sometimes I'll just if they're a return customer, I'll take some price off, right? But if I'm there, or if I'm there and they're looking around, just say, "Hey, listen, I'm here today, so if you see something you want, like make an offer," right? Um,
yeah, this story was just cute because of the kids. They,
no, so what I'm getting at is I kind of like the idea that they're teaching their kids at a young
yeah,
age.
me
I
too.
like that.
It was
That's
fun.
yeah. Um,
Otherwise, because at first when like I didn't realize the kid was negotiating, right? And the father said, "Oh, here's this toy for $5. How about you take three?" And I said, "Really?" I said, "It's $5."
yeah.
It's like, come on, this is already really cheap. But then I said, "Oh, is it for your son?" And then he went, "Yeah." And then I said, "Okay, fine, that's different, right?" Because come on, man, it's like these are worth 10 to 15 each, and it's $5. But then I
Yeah.
realized, okay,
But
it's a
if they're
different
teaching
scenario.
their kids how to negotiate,
Yeah, completely
like I
different.
see that at the yard sale, and I had one there too. The kid was he was probably like I don't know, he was a bigger kid, but he facial and the way he acted and stuff, he's probably like 14, 15 years old. But there was something he wanted for $5. No, it was $10. I said $10 and he said five. And I said, buddy, I said, if you go look online, that's probably it's a contraption for the phone. I'm like, it's probably like a $50 item. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and then and I don't know. And then he came back and he says, oh, I think all he had was seven, right? Like a five and a toonie or something. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
That's yeah. I don't like the
But
half price offers. Like, but
yeah, but it's his father was there too, having him the kid do the. I call him a kid. I mean, he was a kid, but I mean, he's not like a what you're talking about, right?
no.
Um, but I still didn't have the problem. Like if a person's got the ability to negotiate and stuff like that, like I think I like that. I kind of think that's good. That's you learn confidence and different things too. I
Yeah,
guess.
no, this is all a good thing.
So I've never seen that with such a young amount of like
Yeah, I
I've
don't know
seen
how old
people.
they were, like 10, maybe 8. Like I can't quite tell. Maybe in somewhere in between there. They were young.
See,
So
Steph would have just give it to him. Like that's the right. No,
yeah.
no, you just take it. Just take it. It's fine.
I will like I have a bin of like dollar toys. And if the kids are looking through there and they're gonna leave, I said, just you can have one. Right? Like because I don't that's what it's for, that bin. Is because people feel good when you give away something, right?
Or do the reverse. Like, are you kidding me? I'm giving you a deal at $5. That is in line with gold, right? And it's
These little
weighted down
kids.
by silver. Do you know the price of gold and
Oh
silver right now?
God. Never ending.
You know what? I'm gonna up it to 12.
You know how much it
12.95.
cost me to get McDonald's on the way here? You want me to starve on the way in?
Right? The kid goes crying back to their parents.
I swear some people have sent their kids though to like get me to buy stuff. It felt
Oh
kind of
yeah,
icky,
yeah.
but whatever.
Life is fun, Carl. You know. And then an alien comes down and abducts you.
If
Bigfoot crushes you.
you want to hear about it, tune in to Tabloid News
Tabloid files.
Files. Sorry, Tabloid
Yeah, it's
File.
still in its beginning stages. I'm still trying to figure it out, but yeah, I just do a new channel.
There you go. So go check
But
that out.
I did get my Inquirer and Globe books. There's only two Globe, but it's all Inquirer mostly. A little disappointed, like I was saying before the show, Carl. I was a little disappointed with the stories. Like I wish I would have like huge collection. There must have been a couple hundred, but there was so many good stories in those Inquirers.
Hey, it'll give you something to look for.
Yeah. Well, now I gotta I can't wait till yard sale season. I'm just, you got National Enquirers? You're going to be asking everybody. The problem was this guy was probably a one off because he was an old guy and he had a barn loaded with shit. And
Yeah.
there was like National Geographic, there was Time magazines, there was so much stuff, and it was in a barn. So he didn't. It was not in his house where he was stumbling over it. It was in his barn, and he had. I don't know. He must have been collecting National Geographic for years and just putting them in his barn, right? So there was so much. There was so much there, and it was crazy. But I'll never find that again.
Perfect.
Anything else, Carl? Before we go, call it a day.
Nope, that's it.
No, this is another Randy show. 2 hours. But haven't heard from Randy. Where's Randy this week?
Oh, people get busy.
All right. All right, Carl. All right, everyone. I think that's a show.
That's the show.
Wrap. That's a wrap.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, have a good week, everyone. Pick lots, sell lots more than you're picking.
All the stuff.
That's the key. Have a good week, Carl, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, everyone.